But if you're 2-1 up with like 3-4 minutes to go and you've got an aggressive tactic a little bit like this one, you can just scale it back a bit without damaging the teams. That's right, folks. Tip 1 is the set piece back off. So we take a load of time organising our set plays, and in FM they are so vital. And I'm just like you, I've got loads of different routines for attacking corners to try and get an edge and get the goals to get us up. But have you ever thought, when you're winning 2-1 with 3 or 4 minutes to go, you're 3-2 up, do you ever mess with your corners? Because look how many players I've got up there. I've only got 3 back. Now bear in mind the opposition are going to be coming at us. Maybe we should think about this. So what I tend to do is, this is my main routine here. I've got them for the left and the right, and obviously for free kicks as well. All very aggressive. So when I'm trying to hold on to a lead, what I will do is I'll go over to my routine section up here, drop down to load all routines, and then my routines that I've got saved come up, and you can see down the bottom there the shutdown. We'll click on that and you'll see the difference. We'll click the shutdown and there we go. So instantly I've got 5 players back. I'm not committing as much. Also, my taker, he's playing it short. We're concentrating on keeping the ball, keeping it in the corners. Same on the other side. Plenty of players back, less commitment. Just makes sense, right? Think about it. If you overcommit on corners and the keeper gets it or the defenders get it, they're going to look to attack straight away. And if you don't have many players back, you're going to be under threat, possibly getting caught in the counter. So to have more players back like that makes a bit more sense. We've got it set up for corners and free kicks as well. So I'm keeping my defensive unit back. So just spend a little bit of time building some shutdown, lockdown corners. I'll even put mine down below in the link. That way it's a simple click of the button. Flip your attacking corners and your set plays to defensive ones for your last 2-3 minutes of the match. Tip 2, formation back off. And this probably seems like the most simple one, but you'll be surprised the amount of people who just have such faith in their formation that they refuse to change it no matter what. But if you're 2-1 up with like 3-4 minutes to go and you've got an aggressive tactic a little bit like this one, you can just scale it back a bit without damaging the team's familiarity too much. Familiarity. That is a tough word. Familiar. So that's my main tactic that we've been rocking on the Journeyman. This is the latest club I'm at. I'm just about to leave, I do imagine. We're going to get back on the Journeyman soon, crew. Deportes 1. You can see that it's pretty aggressive. It's basically a remix of a 4-2-3-1. Now, I've got a different version for holding on to leads. It's number 2 up here. Let's press it. There it is. And you can see from the aggressiveness, they all drop back a bit. You'll notice the inverted winger still got the same role. He's just at a slightly deeper start point. The winger exactly the same. And the shadow striker on attack flips to a central midfielder on support. And the striker, an advanced forward, flips to a deep line forward. Just to make us a bit more solid. The wing backs do drop as well. From wing backs aggressive to full backs on support. Everything's just that little bit more solid, and it's literally only for a couple of minutes in the match just to make us harder to break down. Tying in with the formation change is your team instruction change. There's no point changing your formation if you keep your team instructions super aggressive. You're not going to get the most bang for your buck, so we're going to change the formation. We're going to change the instructions as well. So there's my aggressive ones down the side there. You can see team instructions. We're passing into space. We're running at the defence. We're being more expressive. On the flip side, the defensive formation, we're passing's going shorter. So we're trying to keep possession more, wasting that time. We're playing for set pieces as well. So we can play them short corners. We're more disciplined instead of more expressive. We're lowering the tempo, helping us to keep the ball. And of course, we're going to waste some time. Aggressive tactic. We're all up in the face. We're countering. We're counter pressing. But when we back off for this last couple of minutes, we're doing none of that. We're going to take short kicks from the keeper to keep the ball. And we're going to regroup and get the boys back into position. We don't need to press, pulling our players out of position. We need to maintain a solid base. Again, these are aggressive ones. We've got a high defensive line, high line of engagement, much more often pressing and get stuck in. Now we're going to take all them out of the equation. When we go to our defensive tactic, you can see we're not doing any of that. We're pressing a little bit, but not too much so we don't get dragged out. Defensive line is more solid, staying back, space in behind, and we're taking off those get stuck in because we don't want to give away needless fouls. combine that defensive formation with more defensive team instructions for those last couple of minutes, you're going to hold on to your leads a bit better. There's going to be less gaps for them to exploit.